Yeah. What's up, everybody? It is the CBC Wizdumb Hour, episode number 140 for June 1st, 2021. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
Hey now, Tony B coming to you from New Jersey. What's happening?
Yes, it's summertime, baby.
Sure is. 47 degrees this morning, so it don't feel like summer.
I saw that it was
cold,
cold.
though.
I saw that it was cold up in Jersey
A little chilly.
yesterday. Unseasonably cold.
Yeah. No, it was chilly. Sunday was chilly, even chillier.
Right. And we're going to talk about your gig. But anybody who's watching live right now, we are broadcasting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, June 1st. If it's not that time equivalent in your time zone, you're watching the replay. If it doesn't say live, you're watching the replay. But if you are live, you want to comment, make sure you click the link in the description that lets StreamYard show your name so we know who you are, and we'll put you on the screen. You have a question, you have a comment, you have a complaint, you have a concern, anything that starts with a C. We'll
email Steve at Cover Band Central and write a long-winded email about your issues.
You could do that, or you could comment here right now live, and we will address it.
Yes,
live.
But if you want to write a novel, you're more than welcome to.
You could do that. It'll just cover our faces on the screen, but that's okay. Brian's in West Virginia. He says howdy.
Howdy, Brian.
That's how they do in West Virginia. Anybody else wants to say hi and tell us where you're listening from or watching from? That would be cool, because we want to know.
It's Tony. I'm listening from New Jersey.
Right. Well, we already established that.
Yeah, we did.
So we want to know the other people. Where are you listening?
I'm just giving you an example of what someone could do.
See, this is what we get. We get Jason says he's in Panama. And he
Panama,
says,
Jason.
Hola.
Hola.
Yes. Big hit for Van Halen, that song.
Yeah, sure was.
So
ease the seat back.
Right. Brandon's in St. Louis. Says hello.
What's up, Brandon?
I guess that's what STL is. I'm pretty good with that, with abbreviations. I knew STL was St. Louis.
That's good, Steve. That's excellent.
Yeah, I went to school. See, Ruth says she's in the Philippines.
Ah, okay.
So we are worldwide, baby.
We're not just nationwide, Steve. We're worldwide.
Right. ZZ Top was nationwide. We're worldwide.
They were.
Yes. So yeah, I know it's
intercontinental.
Right. That's
if you would like to.
Right.
Did you ever watch wrestling as a kid? The Intercontinental Championship?
No, I never had any interest.
Wrestling.
Never had any interest in wrestling. I think it's dumb.
Oh, it's not real. I'm talking about the fake wrestling.
All of it. The fake one is dumb, even dumber.
Oh, dude, you missed out on a big part of childhood there.
No, I did not. I was aware of it. I was aware of it. I didn't have an interest in it.
Dude, it used to be on at like 1 o'clock in the morning on Channel 13, and it was called Lucha Libre. And it was a Spanish channel, but yet it came through in English. And I used to wake my brother up at 1:45 in the morning to watch wrestling. And like he wouldn't want to get up, and it would be like a fist fight to get him up. And then once he was awake, he'd be like, I'm awake, I'm up. Be watching it, and he'd be like dozing off, and I'd be like punching him, like, get up, dude, wrestling's on. I'm up, I'm awake, I'm good. And then if like he was too tired and he didn't wake up, then the next day it was like a big disappointment, Ah, dude, you didn't wake me up for wrestling. What's wrong with you? Dude, I tried waking you up. You weren't awake. What do you want me to tell you? We battled.
You should have TiVo'd it.
There was no TiVo back then, Steve. We're talking like
I know
1982.
I know. Jason said he's a while from playing Panama on the drums, but he'll get it on the list. That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's good.
Alex Van Halen. That's no joke, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
bring it.
Gotta bring it with Alex Van Halen. You know your stuff.
Big innovator, Alex was,
Yeah. Jump was even like Jump is not an easy song on the drums. It's not just a straight 4/4 song.
No, it's
that solo,
especially. Oh yeah.
That solo is pretty crazy. What the hell are you drinking? Chocolate milk?
Coffee.
Coffee out of a
mug.
That is a crazy looking mug.
Yeah. It's a mason jar.
That's what I was going to say. It looked like a mason jar. Mason jar mug.
It's a mason jar coffee.
You're drinking coffee now?
Yeah.
Well, you
I'll
don't
go right to sleep, dude. Doesn't affect me.
really.
Yeah, we used to fly out to Nam. I would get on the plane. Me and Joe Bergamini would fly out together. We get on. I would drink. He wouldn't drink coffee, but he'd get one so I could drink it. I would drink my coffee, drink his coffee, eat my breakfast, finish his, and then puff up the pillow and fall asleep for 5 hours, and
Wow.
then wake me up when we get to LA
I could never do it.
every time. And he would be reading a book or doing something, and I would be sleeping, brother. Yeah,
Good for you.
coffee. I could drink the coffee and go right to bed. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't affect me.
It's amazing. Mind over matter, I guess.
Yeah, or I just don't notice it, maybe, but definitely when it's sleep time, man, it's time for sleep. My head hits the pillow, I'm sleeping.
I got so much sleep over the last 24 hours, and I feel so good. I took, because it's Memorial Day, I had planned on doing my daily video thing that I'm doing every day. I had planned on doing it this week because even though it was a holiday, and then I had a Sunday night that rocked me a little bit. And so Monday, I was not in no shape to do Monday thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take this week off, get all the
Motivation
themes,
Monday, dude.
get all the themes done, because the themes aren't all done, and get all the animations for the themes done.
Not very motivating.
This week, I'm gonna take this week off and get that work done, and then next week have it all set up ready where it's everything. I don't have to write any new themes or anything. Like, it's all done.
But it won't be Motivational Memorial Monday.
It is. People can motivate themselves. They don't need
No,
me.
but it won't be Memorial Monday, though, I'm saying.
That's okay.
All right. You can make it whatever you want.
It's a Motivation Monday no matter what. Whether
Except
it's Memorial Day or not.
Except yesterday.
No, it was. I just didn't do the video.
How could it be if there's no video, Steve? Does the tree make a noise if it falls and no one's around? Come on.
Listen, everybody takes a week off here and there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's my job that I've created, so I don't have a boss to ask to take a week off. I just decided I'm taking this week off.
Johnny, can Steve take off a week? He said it depends on your staff and your board, what they have to say about it.
Yeah, they can.
His board's on vacation.
Right. They'll take the vacation too. They're fine with that.
Yeah, no, everyone deserves vacation, Steve. You're only human.
But it's not a vacation. I'm working. I just need to do the behind the scenes work. I need a lot. I have a lot of behind the scenes work to do.
There you go.
But Sunday, I didn't play Friday and Saturday night this weekend. I had off, and my plan was last week to catch up on a lot of stuff, and I did catch up on some stuff, but I didn't get as far as I wanted to. And then Sunday we played. It was the only day we played this weekend, and it was great. There were more people there than I expected because New Orleans typically during the summer is slower. Yeah. But we're in special circumstances here where we just got out of COVID basically. And
special circumstances.
We've just gotten out of, most people are out of COVID now. People are getting back and playing. And I figured that's why there were more people in town tonight or Sunday night. When I got to the club, it was fairly crowded, more than usual at that time of day, which is like, I get there around 6:15 p.m., 6:30 in that area. And we had a good crowd. And by the end of the night, it was pretty packed. We had this guy who is a local musician. His name's Jeff McCarty. And he was there in the beginning and then left. And then he came back later and he got up towards the end of the night, got up and sang with us. And he is one of the most talented people that I know here in this city. He's got a record out, cool, which is killer. He's like a bluesy rock dude, singer. He's a drummer too, and sweetheart of a guy. And he got up and sang like four songs, I think, with us. Him and Tracy, and see, Tony knows Jeff is a beast. Yeah, he's a fantastic talent. So that was the end of the night. And typically, and I know some people are against this, but I drink on stage. I'm an alcohol drinker, so I drink on stage, but I know my limits. I know how to pace myself. I drink water too, and I bring a sandwich and I'll eat too. But I got a good buzz on, and I pace myself so that I know that by the end of the night, I'm at a
So are
certain.
you like, I've become comfortably numb in the guitar solo, and you're like wolfing down a bologna sandwich, like doo doo boo doo.
No. I
No.
would never do it during the song, especially if I'm singing. Forget that.
Okay. Well, you're not singing during the guitar solo. I thought if you're hungry, maybe you could chow down and half a bologna sandwich, take a few swigs of your drink, and you'd be ready to go.
Yeah, no. Not unless I had a bologna sandwich assistant that would hold its sandwich for me and I could just bite it.
Yes, and bring it over to you and just be like,
No,
sandwich
they would just hold it up for me right there
right,
in the
sandwich
air.
now, and you just take bites as you need it.
Right.
They probably make a stand that you could have your iPad, your tablet on one side, and the sandwich holder on the other.
That
You know what I
would be
mean?
hilarious. A
And it could be
sandwich.
like a foot
Sandwich
trash
stand.
can, like you step on the trash can and the lid opens, you could step on it and it would be like an accordion, like one of those punching fists in the cartoon, and the
Yeah,
sandwich would come out and you could nibble on it and then release your foot and it would go back into its hiding spot.
that's brilliant. Come up with a prototype.
I will I'll come up with a design. We're right on it.
We'll take it to Shark Tank and we'll
Take a
try
Shark
to.
Tank. This is a bologna sandwich holder for musicians who don't have time to eat before the gig.
And the beauty
Very
is,
important.
it could be anything, any kind of sandwich.
Hands-free.
It
Yeah, it could
doesn't
be
have to be a bologna sandwich. It could be a salami sandwich. It could be a ham
Yep.
sandwich. It could be a cheese sandwich. It could be a
Different
chicken
adapters. It could
salad
be a
sandwich.
burrito too. You could just need a
Yeah,
different
burrito.
adapter for it. You know?
You have to buy the separate burrito adapter.
Correct. Right. So I already have the marketing plan all figured out. I got a burrito adapter, rye bread adapter versus white bread. Then there's a bag adapter if you want to have it in a bag.
A pizza slice holder somehow.
Yes, that would be another attachment, kind of triangular with a screen on the bottom, so that as with a conveyor belt type of
That'd be
apparatus.
tough.
So as you're eating it, it would be.
What is bologna? That's not how you spell it, for one, and it is
Yeah.
a processed meat that people typically get with cold cuts and put on sandwiches.
Yes.
And Larry said we're making him hungry. I'm making myself hungry too.
Some bologna sandwiches.
Because all I've eaten today is a banana and some walnuts. So
wow, we can make a little cup holder for the walnuts. Write that down. Sigmund, write that down.
Oh,
we're on it.
Okay. Yesterday could add the bologna feeder to my pedal board.
Yes, you definitely could. If you have a big enough pedal board, you could have a slicer on it. There you go.
Tina figured it out.
Have like a pedal board. This is all baloney. It sure is, Brian. You know it.
This is brought to you by Oscar Mayer.
Oscar Mayer. Yes, it is.
This segment of the Wizdumb.
It's brought to you by Oscar Mayer for processed foods and meats that no other.
BOLOGNA. That's how I know how to spell it from the song.
Oscar
Mayer has a way of BOLOGNA. That's music teaches you everything. Like you could learn to spell. Like people, you learn the alphabet when you're a kid. You learn the song. A B C D.
Correct, and they tell you not to sing it when you're doing a DUI stop. Do not sing.
Don't sing it.
Yes, officer. Sorry.
Tina said when you're promoting food at the venue, it's a huge plus, unless they don't sell food.
But even better, Tina's on the right track, though. You can be like, hey, that guy's eating a bologna sandwich up there. You can be like, hey, I got a whole cooler full of bologna sandwiches up here. Come over to the side of the stage, $5.
Right. I don't remember this.
Guy.
Kyle, what kind of kid eats Armour hot dogs? I don't remember. What's the answer to that? Do you remember?
Armour hot dogs.
Armour hot dogs.
Yeah, it was the competitor to Oscar
Was that
Mayer.
the song? What was the song? Armour hot dogs. Something like that.
The Armour hot dog song.
It's the dog kids love to bite. Something like that. Was that the Armour song? It's a dog kids love to bite. Was that Armour?
This great thing called Siri.
I don't know. We don't.
I don't know.
Let me ask Alexa. Alexa, what was the Armour hot dogs theme song?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the Armour hot dog song is called "The Dog Kids Love to Bite." The song was written for an Armour hot dogs TV campaign in 1967. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Thanks for your feedback.
Good job, Alexa.
How cool is Alexa?
She's cool. She knows a lot.
Wow, that is a memory that was stored
That's heavy
way
duty.
somewhere deep within my brain that just
Yeah,
came back.
the dog that bites back.
I love doing that. Brian just said it. We just said his Alexa off, and his Alexa didn't know. My Alexa is very smart, Brian.
Yeah, I have an Alexa on my staff too. Alexa, you gotta go back to night school.
Desna's head is full of jingles, and Alexa. Oh wait, so
Panama
what's
City
up?
Beach over there, Scott. What's happening?
Guys in Panama City, and John thinks Alexa is God. I would say Alexa is goddess.
Yes,
Because
you
it's
can
a
look up baloney.
female.
Alexa, look up baloney.
Huh?
He can ask Alexa to look up baloney
He can on how to spell it.
on what it is.
Oh, what it is. That's right. He didn't know what bologna was.
They'll give you a whole rundown on it, how it's made, where it comes
It's
from.
a delicious processed meat sold in cold cut form generally,
And there you have it.
and you put it on sandwiches.
Not to be
It's
confused
cheap.
with liverwurst either.
It's very not cheap. Oh, liverwurst is horrible, but bologna is inexpensive processed meat.
And you can have a hand sandwich with
Yeah,
bologna.
John said, did I just assume Alexis Jenner? Yes, because it's a female voice. If I had to change it, if I could change it to a male voice, I probably wouldn't, because I like the female voice better. Yeah, that's just me.
Well, Steve, bologna comes from Switzerland. That would be Alexa if it was a man's voice.
Alexa, what is bologna made of?
Here's something I found on the web. According to reference.com, bologna, also known as bologna, is typically made from cured pork or beef.
Cured pork or beef.
That was not very informative, Alexa. You're fired.
That's not bad. Cured pork or beef.
Bologna, sometimes also referred to as bologna.
See, Brian says he has the Samuel L. Jackson voice on his Alexa, and I would do that only if he cursed, though, because you can't have Sam Jackson's voice without him being able to say M or F'er, those cuss words. So, and I don't think, because I've tried to get Alexa to curse and she won't do it.
So wait, we got off track here. So reel it back in for a second. Where is so what happened on Sunday night that you were all banged up
all right,
Monday?
yeah. So Sunday, so I get to this sort of level of buzz that I feel comfortable where I can operate, I can do my job, and then by the end of the night, when we're done, I'll drink some water and I'll eat a sandwich, which does not contain bologna, by the way.
Okay.
And then pack up, wait to get paid our tips, and then I go home. But Sunday night afterwards, we're hanging out because Jeff was there, so we're hanging out outside on the corner. I took the trip to my car and brought most of my stuff to the car already, and all I had left was my backpack. I came back, I'd let my backpack left, waiting to get my tips. Got my tips, standing outside talking to Jeff and my keyboard player Tillis and this guy that I just met, another keyboard player that was just hanging out. And they're all like, "Hey, let's go to Aaron Rose," which is the bar right across the street from us, and it's like the in spot for musicians, where musicians go. The musicians that work in town go and hang. It's the after hours bar. And I know, like, I walk in and the bartender that was there is somebody I've known for years and years. He's been here since I started playing 11 years ago. He's been bartending, and I've always run into him and hung out at places he's bartended. So I see him immediately, and I haven't seen him since, in over a year with the pandemic. So he gives me a big high five and a hug across the bar, and then we're in there. And the thing about Aaron Rose is, and especially this bartender, is they make these specialty drinks, and they taste so good, but
they're loaded.
They contain some alcohol. So a car bomb. Do you know what a car bomb is?
Sure.
Okay. So we went in, we each got a beer, and then we had a car bomb too, which is, the beer, and you drop the shot in and you drink the whole thing.
That's an Irish car bomb.
Okay. If you say so.
Yes.
So we did that. And then, so now, I mean, I already have the buzz from playing all night, from, just sipping, playing. So now this is adding on to that. And then the Jacob is the bartender, and he makes the shot called a German chocolate cake, which is delicious. It tastes like a freaking chocolate cake, but he didn't have the right ingredients there. So I was like, just get creative, make me something. So he made a cool shot, for the four of us, and we drank that. And then another Irish car bomb, another car bomb. We do that, and then yeah, that's like, and that was in the span of like a half hour. And I'm sipping on a beer too. So yeah, getting hammered, but had a blast hanging out with those guys. Loved talking to Jeff. That's the first time I really got to talk one-on-one with him for a long time. And I've known him, for like 6 years or so, but I've never got to like hang out and talk with him. And I think he's such a talented dude, and he's such a cool guy. So it was really fun to just sit there drinking with your musician buddies and talking. So did that, and then he left. Like eventually, he was just gone. I was like, "Where's Jeff?" And they're like, "Right, he left." I'm like, he didn't even say goodbye. Hung out a little longer.
Did you guys?
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. So it's Guinness. Tina said she might have Googled it. Yes, it's an Irish car bomb.
Yep.
What is the shot? It's Guinness beer. What is the shot that you put in?
I think it's Bailey's.
Yeah, Bailey's. Okay, that sounds about right. So that makes sense.
Or Jameson maybe, or some kind of Irish whiskey. I forget what.
I don't think it's Jameson. I think Bailey sounds right because it's kind of creamy when you suck it down. So that sounds about right. So, so now and then eventually the other two are like, all right, we're out of here. So now I'm like, I gotta go home, and I'm pretty hammered, and I'm like smart enough to know that I shouldn't be driving too far, being this drunk. I could function and I could drive, but I knew,
so you took a nap?
No, I knew that if I drove far, that would be risky because I could get pulled over. I could get a DWI. I could get in an accident, so I don't want
all kinds of bad things.
All kinds of bad things could happen. So one of the alternatives is to go to sleep in my car, but I wasn't really tired. I was just, drunk. The other alternative is to go to the casino because you got to go to the casino. You can hang out, you can play some games, and you can
drink more.
Sober up. No, not drink more. I mean, although I could have, I didn't have any interest in drinking more at that point. I drank water. So I brought a bottle of water in and went and played. And then, several $100s later, and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm sober enough. I walked out of there, and
you're like, yes, I'm gonna win on this poll right here.
The sun was coming up when I walked out, and I like to when I go to the casino, I like to just I like to play video poker. That's my favorite, and just sit outside. I go to the outside to the smoking lounge because I vape, and they don't let you vape inside. So I go and I get comfortable. I sit back. I take my stuff out of my pockets. I have my water, and I put my feet up and I play. So I did that, and then finally, I was like, all right, it's time to go home. And I started driving home, and feeling just a little shitty about like, oh, I just lost all this money, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and you're driving home.
And I'm driving home, and then I get like almost all the way home, and I'm looking at, and I'm like, where's my phone? Where's my phone? I left my phone there. U-turn right away, and I'm freaking out. Like, oh, I can't lose my phone. What would I do if I don't have my phone? Tomorrow's Memorial Day. I can't, like,
big problems, man.
Big problems. I got everything on there. I've never left my phone anywhere, ever, in the history of me having a cell phone. And leaving it at a freaking casino, I left it sitting on top of the
poker game.
The game, yeah, because I don't want it in my pockets when I'm sitting there because it's bulky. So I just put it on top there, and I left it sitting there. So I drove like a freaking maniac back to that casino, and just ran in and went back there. Fortunately, it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and there was hardly anybody there.
So it was still there.
So nobody had walked up to that machine, so it was still sitting there. Yeah.
Lucky you.
Lucky me. And I mean, biggest sigh of relief, biggest thank you, gratitude to the universe for not losing that phone. And like that would have been way worse than losing the money. Like, losing the phone.
Yeah, because now you got to buy a new phone, then you got to populate all your stuff back into it again.
Right. And I'm still paying for this phone that I have.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So
which I would still have to pay for if I lose it. So
triple trouble there, Stevie.
Yeah. So thank you to the goddess for not for first me realizing it before I got all the way home. If I got all the way home and I was like,
you're in bed, you're all snuggled up, and you're like, oh no.
Right.
Let's go back in the car and go.
Tragic that would have been. So
would have been a travesty.
So yeah, Tina says she hates lost cell phone panic. That's the first time I've ever had to deal with that. I've never because I'm very organized and diligent about, like when I leave my apartment, I say out loud the things that I need to have with me. Wallet, phone, keys, I'll say it out loud, and I make sure I have all these things. When I'm going to work, do I have my gig bag? Do I have my base? Do I have my, everything that I need? I'm very organized with that.
Cell phone panic.
See, that's rough. Brian left an iPhone in a Porta-John for about 5 minutes, went back and it was gone. Well, the thing is, Porta-Johns are active. It depends where the Porta-John was, I guess. But it could be active.
At Coachella, right by the gate.
Right.
So
yeah, if you're at a music festival and you use your phone, then
probably gone.
You're done. Yeah, forget it. It's gone. So lesson learned. Whatever.
Cell phone in your pocket. That's the lesson, Steve, right there.
And the other lesson is instead of going to the casino, take a nap in my car before I drive.
Yes, you'll have your cell phone and your money still in your pocket when you wake up. Two things which you did not have when you were driving.
Right.
Awake.
Right. So that was and then yesterday, so I went to sleep at like 6:30 yesterday morning.
Okay.
And then I slept until like 1. And then my singer Tracy was having a little get together for Memorial Day. So I went over there for a few hours, came back. And so I was like, I need to relax, man. I need to rest, stop, because I've been trying to do so many things and stressing over some of it. And I just need to stop and take a chill pill and take a break, give myself a break. So
take the week off, Steve.
So last night I didn't drink anything and then went to sleep. I didn't go to sleep until like 2:30, but woke up around 10:30, did a few things, and then went back to sleep for a few hours. And boy, does that make a difference. Those extra couple hours of sleep, now I feel like a brand new man. I'm ready for the week. I did a bunch of things today already.
Fully refreshed, heading back to the casino.
Fully refreshed. No more casino. Brian says nap in the back seat. Guy forgot DUI sleeping in the driver's seat. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah,
I don't. I like if I sleep on the car, if it's too hot out, I'll put the engine on and the AC on and sleep in the driver's seat. And I've never had any issues with that. But, yeah.
But you can be in trouble for that.
Apparently.
If you're drunk, yeah, because the keys are in the ignition and the car is running. So technically, you're preparing to operate the motor vehicle.
Not if I'm sleeping, I'm not.
No, maybe you fell asleep while you were driving.
Not in a parking spot.
Trying to coast it into that parking spot.
All right. I can see where it's
put it in park at the last possible second.
Right.
But lawbreaker, you.
It's so much more.
Scofflaw.
It's so much more comfortable, though, lay in that back seat, that front seat back, and just.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to the back seat, because I'm tall. I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm too long for the back seat.
And was Sunday rain for you?
No, it's beautiful. The weather is gorgeous here.
Wow.
Right, it's been
Sunday. I said Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Your gig day, was it raining or no?
No, it was beautiful.
Okay.
It's been beautiful here for a while, like mid 80s, No rain. It's been gorgeous. The weather is tremendous here.
Yeah, we had like 3 weeks of no rain, and then it rained Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I know because my Mets games got
Mhm.
postponed.
And then it cleared out Monday, so Monday was nice. Today was nice, Tomorrow's gonna be nice again, but it's
Right.
cool. It's
All
only
right,
like
so
70s.
So talk about your gig. You played in the cold?
Okay, yeah. So my gig. So Sunday, we played Tin Barn Brewery, and it was supposed to be outside. They just built this giant 2-tier deck, big stage, like dug into the side of the mountain with a whole rock wall backdrop, and good sized stage. Like big. All new, outdoor seating, picnic tables, awesome. Well, pouring rain, obviously you can't play outside because it's not
Right.
covered.
Right.
But inside, the brewery was an old auction house, so it's like a big warehouse building, probably 38, 40-foot tall ceiling in the middle, big, giant, open, big, imagine one giant building. But then they had it set up with the stage and all the brewing stuff on one side, all the equipment and all the things for the brewery were like cordoned off, and then they had food in the back and they had a bar to the right. But all the beer there is brewed obviously on site at the brewery.
Right.
So we learned that it's a guy and his daughter, and his daughter is the brewmaster, and they have like 6 or 7 different beers, and they range from like 7-8% alcohol up to like 15-16.
Damn.
Yeah. So same thing. It was like, hey, I'll take a beer, and then Jimmy brought me back a beer, and he's like, I got you the least amount of it's 8.5% alcohol. It's like the least amount one that they have, and it was delicious. Like you could definitely drink many of them, but quickly be in trouble.
Right.
So it ended up. I was a little concerned because it was really crappy out. It was pouring rain and it was sketchy, and I told a ton of people about it, and they were like, well, we'll see, I don't know what's happening, to go. Well, it turned out that like everybody that I told to go ended up going, and so did all the other guys in the band. So
Oh, cool.
between the people we brought and the people at the brewery, there's probably 200 people inside the venue, like
Nice.
packed out, and it was like a concert. Like people were so amped up to get out post pandemic.
Do you just had in Jersey they removed the mask
Correct.
mandate, right?
Correct.
Like
So there was
like
no
it was like last Friday or something.
Friday. So
Okay.
and this is New York State, but they had lifted the
Oh,
mask
right,
mandate too. So we went there was no masks. So no one had masks on. And it was comfortable too because it was a big, high ceiling, open place. So it wasn't like you were jam crammed in a tight little bar, Even though there was a lot of people there, they were all spread out. Like it's a big, big floor plan,
Right.
And band ate and drank for free. And like I said, it was like a concert. Like we had captive audience where at the end of every song, there was like roaring applause.
Wow.
And afterwards, when we were packing up, I had no exaggeration, at least 20 people come up to me and say, dude's band was fantastic. Song selection was great. So needed this. Like so good to be out. I had 15 of my friends with me. This was a destination thing that we were doing. They came from Long Island somewhere, and they were like,
Right.
we want to get on your emailing list. Next time you're back here, we're going to come back here. We just came for the day, but we didn't even realize they were going to have music. And it was just a great experience. The owner was like, I got to get you back in here, on a regular rotation. Like you guys were great, packed the place. And even some of the staff were like, we really needed this, like music. This is like the most packed it's been this year since, we've been back open again for spring and having bands. And, some of the staff guys were like, when are you back here again? Because I'm definitely make sure I'm working that day because it was a good time. So like I said, Karen went, Cole, my, youngest son went with his girlfriend. My mom went with her boyfriend, and, my aunt was there with her husband, and there was just a ton of people that went. There was probably, 20 people that came out. And then, like I said, all the guys in the band, because they're all local to Orange County, had a ton of people that came out too. So it was one of those days where, the band actually brought like 50 of its own people out on a rainy, crappy afternoon.
Right.
But it was awesome. Everyone had a great time. We did 2 encores at the end. Like it was time to be done. And they paid us extra money. If you can imagine that. The guy was like,
Sure.
guys packed the house. He's like, what's fair is fair. And he gave us extra cash. So
That's fantastic.
it was a really good time. They were really appreciative, and I was really moved by how much people were so grateful and appreciative of seeing live band. Like that wasn't like one or two people, you know what I mean? As I'm packing up, everyone's walking by the stage, and like I said, like 25 different people were like, "You guys were really great. We enjoyed this so much. It's first time coming here, or we come here all the time, but we didn't realize that what your band name was, and we'll be back next time you're playing here." And they were just excited to get out. And even though it was a crappy day, like you said, a lot of people went out and they said they had a great time, and the same thing with the people we brought. It was just one of those things where it's one of those rare gigs where the entire place has a synergistic energy. You know what I mean? Where everyone's into it.
Right.
And I guess it's also because, the band itself brings, 50 people that are either family and friends. So they're going to be supportive and excited to see the band because they haven't seen this since pre-pandemic, right?
Right.
2019 probably.
Right.
So that's going back, a year and a half, let's say, but since people have seen the band.
Right.
So it worked out good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I see that kind of thing happening all over the place too, with posts in CBC and posts just on the internet of people like, yeah, it's our first gig back. We're stoked to be back. So it's happening really more and more now, and it's almost like orgasmic, for people that feeling, not only for the musicians, but like you said, the people that come out, they're just so digging.
They were engaged. Best way to put it. They were fully engaged. There wasn't like sidebar conversations going on and a bunch of bar noise, and the band wasn't background music for the bar. Like it usually is. You know what I mean? It was like front and center entertainment, and everyone was there to see the band. So that was really cool. It was like
a concert, like you said.
Concert, like that's what the guy said to me at the end too. The owner, he's like, this wasn't like having a band in the brewery. He's like, this was like a concert event. He's like, the energy was like concert like, which was really cool. It's been a while since I played in front of that many people where they were all engaged like that, and where the stage was, they were all in front and then all down the left side, and the stage was open on the left. So you had people that were sitting right to my left, past the guardrail on the stage, like right there, had like bird's eye view of, side stage, or right behind me where me and Jimmy were,
Were there seats all around, or were people standing in places?
There were some people standing, but for the most part, they were all seated because they had a lot of tables. They had,
Oh, so like tables and not just like a concert row of seats.
No. They had, like, imagine the whole thing is like you walk in and it's a big giant long room with an L off to the one side. So they had all tables set up anywhere between 2 to 4 to 6 to 10.
Okay.
That was their table setup. So they had their tables of 10 in the front, and on the outskirt edges they had 4s and 6s and 2s, and then by the bar and the drinking, where they actually served the liquor, there was some 2 and 4 seaters, and then there was some bench seating out in the front, like when you first walk in. But then the whole back section was all tables, all high boy tables and seating. So I would say there was probably, 25, 30 people standing. And by the time we went on, which was 2:00, there was already an hour wait to get into the place.
Wow.
So it was packed out,
They serve food too, or is it just the brewery?
They have brick oven pizza.
Oh, there you go.
Like maybe 10 or 12 different types. Pretzels with the beer sauce.
Perfect.
Beer cheese. Yeah, it was really good. And then, like I said, probably, a dozen different types of beer. And ciders.
You're making me want to go to this place.
Hard
now.
ciders. Yeah, dude, it's great. It's a new place. And the guy said, he's like, you guys are going to play here once a month. So this is like your new home.
That's awesome.
And everyone that we brought was super psyched to go. It's only 40 minutes from, where I live. Right. And like I said, it's a big, cool venue. So everyone was like, dude, next time you play there, like, especially if it's outside, like, let me know. We're going to, bring more people. Right. So I suspect we play there again, August. The guy's going to try to squeeze us in July. He said if he can get a cancellation and sneak us back in again. But
yeah, John, like John said, live music is the best. He can't wait to play again. John, I don't know if John told us, but where are you from, John? Where are you at? Anybody else watching too right now that just joined in and wants to say hello? Tell us where you're from and tell us what's going on in your life so we can, know how far we're reaching around the world and stuff. And yeah, that's fantastic. I really anticipated this a long time ago when the pandemic started, and I knew when it comes back, it's going to be this just major sort of orgasmic, thrilling thing for people. And the timing is perfect because summertime really is more about live music and
yeah.
stuff. So,
And even like I said, the last 2 gigs we played before this was the same thing. People were like,
John's in England, so I
Manchester,
guess in the UK they're not opening up as quickly as us, or not getting back to playing. But here in the United States, everybody's pretty much like, all right, we're done, let's go. Because I'm seeing the major artists announcing their summer dates now, like all the major touring artists that had to put their tours on hold or just wanted to get back out and play. And I'm seeing them all like every day now. I'm saying like, here's our July tour dates in August and September and everything. So Kyle's in Canberra,
Louisiana.
That's right down the road from me.
Yeah.
David's in, let's try to say this name. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
All right. All right. I have no idea. I'm just going to take David's word for it that that's a real place. Is that a place that you're familiar with?
Yes, it's much like Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. See, he knows it's right.
Oconomowoc.
Yeah.
Oconomowoc. Yeah.
Oconomowoc.
That's pretty fun to say once you learn it. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc. Oconomowoc. Wisconsin. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc. You know what? Oconomowoc. Good stuff. Nice. Yeah, he likes it too. Good stuff. But yeah, so people are psyched, to come to get out.
About that.
No one's talking to you, Alexa.
I didn't even say her name.
People are psyched to get back out. That's what I was saying. They're definitely amped. They're excited. They're juiced up. They were singing along. They were dancing. They were into it. So people are definitely, up for that. And like I said, maybe it's just a different type of venue, right? Because it's not a bar per se; it's a brewery,
right?
So when
it's a little classier.
Yeah, they come up to your table and they'll say, "Hey, do you, what do you guys want another round? You want to drink?" They're constant servers walking around bringing, all kinds of trays of beer to people's tables and bringing food to people's tables. And they do cranking business because the beers are like $6-8 each.
Right. And when you're at a brewery, where they're brewing their own beer, you almost feel like obligated to, like, I want to try this one and I want to try that one, and I want
Yeah, and all the guys behind the bar and the girls behind the bar are all very knowledgeable about what beer is what. Like, hey, what's that number 9 IPA? Oh, it tastes like this, and it's this and that, and it has alcohol content of this, and you want to try a little sip, and they'll give you a little teaser, just to taste it and see if you like it or not.
Do they have the sample trays? That you get the little sort of shot glass type of.
You can, yeah. It's like they're a little more than the shot glass. They're probably like 2.5 to 3 inches tall. But
right.
I saw the sampler. Yeah, they can like 4, 6, and 8. There was guys walking around with sample beer packs like that
Love
to the
those.
table. Yeah, but like I said, so you got to be careful because some of them are pretty potent. So you have 3 or 4.
You better hope
you have 3 or 4 beers that are 10-12% alcohol. It's like drinking 8-9 beers.
You better hope there's a casino nearby where you can go and sober
No casinos, only bars and an ice cream place. So you can go to the ice cream place and sleep in that parking lot till they open, and then you could have ice cream.
So John's in Manchester. He said he can't wait to play, but his band is fully booked from the 12th of June this year for 18 months. So there you go.
Wow, good for you, John.
So yeah, so he's getting stoked to play again, and there's a lot of people that are in that same boat. Just getting back to the first gigs that I saw this past weekend, Memorial Day, like in Jersey Shore. That's a Jersey Shore Memorial Day weekend is always the summer kickoff time.
And it rained and it was crappy, but from what I understand, people still went.
I'm sure they did, and
the clubs were still, there were still lines outside the clubs to get in.
Yeah, because like Jenkinson's, that's the big Theo Point Pleasant which is indoors. So, even if you can't enjoy the beach, you can still be, protected from the rain and watch a band. I've done that many years where I went down for the Friday kickoff. The Friday Memorial Day weekend kickoff.
Yeah.
And there'd be a band playing. I'd go down early, like in the morning. And PLJ was there, WPLJ, the radio station. They would do a live broadcast, and then there'd be like a known artist would play, and then probably cover bands too, and then cover bands. I kind of miss the Jersey Shore scene, that summer scene down there. I might have to come up for the summer at some point.
Yeah, 2 years ago before the pandemic, Kel was playing the whole Shore scene. He was playing like 3-4 nights a week.
He was playing with which band?
He was playing with, I think, Moscola's band. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, well, Richie plays in a lot of different
Yeah.
bands, so he's playing with the Benjamins now.
I forget the name. Yeah, no, it wasn't the Benjamins. It was a different band, but he was. Yeah, they were playing. He was playing 3-4 nights a week.
Right.
Down
But
beach.
But I saw the Nerds playing, and the Nerds are a Jersey Shore staple. They've been around for 25 years,
if not more.
If not more. The Nerds, one of the best cover bands ever in the history of ever. One of the bands that really inspired me to want to play covers.
They've been around for like 30 years, Steve.
I would say 30, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 53, so when I was 23,
yeah,
the Nerds,
late 80s, I remember seeing Nerds.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, the Nerds are a band that a 4-piece band. They dress like the guys from the movie Revenge of the Nerds. You know, that kind of clothing, and they have the glasses with the tape in the middle. And they are fantastic musicians.
Oh yeah.
And they pick their song selection is amazing, and they put on a highly entertaining show. They do Bohemian Rhapsody with a 4-piece band.
Yeah, they're good.
They all sing. They all sing, and they're all fantastic musicians. So they've been a Jersey Shore staple for
go check them out.
A long time. Check them out. I don't know their website. The Nerds. Just search the Nerds, New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey cover band Nerds.
Yes, and you'll find them. They used to they were like the Stars band, and they would tour. They not tour, but they would go get corporate gigs.
Oh yeah,
in Vegas and California and shit.
Yeah.
And they were commanding a lot of money. I don't know how much, but
yeah, they were big time.
I'm sure they're still getting paid very well, but I don't think those guys.
I think they were like 20 grand.
20 grand?
Yeah.
When?
Like probably 10 years ago.
That's a good chunk of change for one gig.
Yeah.
Of course, they have people to pay. They have management.
Yeah, they got sound, PA, lights. They have a whole crew. They're not carrying their own stuff around.
Right.
That's for sure.
But they're each member is making at least $2 grand a gig.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way you want it to be. You got to put in the work though. You can't just.
Oh yeah, no, they're troopers, man. They've played thousands of gigs, you know.
I think he already told us Philippines.
Yes, Philippines.
And David gave us the breakdown. Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc.
Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Okay. So, what else did I want to talk about? I don't know.
Gigs. Any more gigs? Any other gigs coming up?
June. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend in June.
Nice.
So I just got a couple new songs to learn this weekend. Tracy wants to do "Car Wash" by Rolls Royce at the car wash.
Yep.
Cool bass line, fun song. I've learned it before, but I have to go over it. And she wants to do "Sir Duke" by Stevie Wonder.
Good tune,
right? And that's not an easy song, and we don't rehearse, so we have to show up at the gig and know the song and play it right the first time.
That's fun. I like doing that.
That's all we do.
I miss doing that. Showing up.
But Sir Duke is no joke. I mean, that's a.
No, it's a tricky. It's a tough tune.
I mean that whole thing is. It's a thing.
Hey, my buddy Steve plays in the wedding band out in Long Island. Well, at least he did before the pandemic, and he would say that it was all top-notch pro players, Broadway guys and touring guys, and there was a band that was put together by this agency who has maybe a dozen bands that work the island. And he said that you would get a list, on Monday for that following weekend and say, like, be prepared to do these songs at the gig. And if it was always brand new, like whatever was top 10,
Oh, wow. Okay.
So anything that was just came out, learn it. Make sure you know it. They would talk on the phone. You're singing this background part. I'm singing that background part. You're going to do this part and show up at the gig. And then before the gig, if there was any conversation to be had about, hey, what about this part, or what are you playing there, or this, they would talk about it, but they'd be expected to then show up to the gig and be able to play those songs.
That's nerve-wracking.
He said it was pretty challenging, but if you listened, if you knew the song, then you were good. Like he would just, they were full-time musicians, so he would spend the week learning the songs, play the
Right.
parts. If he was singing them, he would learn the background, the lead parts on them, and then figure out the background parts to make sure everyone was singing the right, sections. And yeah, he said it was interesting because you would just show up and be the same thing, like be prepared to do that song.
But at least they would talk about it. Like in my situation, because you said they would talk about it in emails and on the phone and then before the gig. In my situation, that doesn't happen ever. We just show up and we got to freaking play it and know your vocal part if there is one. And that's an issue with my band. It's just, and we talked about it last time, is the singing.
Well, Jimmy was telling me that he filled in with Albrecht's band, over the weekend.
Which Hoi Polloi or
yeah, with Hoi Polloi, and he said that same thing. Albrecht has his set list, but he doesn't share it with anybody. He just goes one song into the next, into the next, into the next, and you got to be ready to go. There's no, he might announce it like, these are the next 4 songs, and he may say it in passing, like, Steve, we're going to do blah, 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 blah. Those are the next 4 songs, and just go right into it. And then when the song's over, he's going right into the next song.
Right. I like that, though.
Jimmy said it was pretty seamless and it was interesting, but you had to be paying attention because you only had 5 seconds to figure out what song he's playing next, because he's not telling you. He's just playing, just going into it.
Oh man, I like gigs like that. I did a lot of that in Jersey, and that really helped me out to prep me for New Orleans. I played this a few gigs with this guy Glenn Roberts, who's a guitar player, singer, and he would play cover gigs, and he had like this huge loose leaf folder of songs, just like, I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many thousands of songs in there that he would just flip through. And same thing, like I would show up at the gig and he's just like, all right, we're playing this. And I had to know it. I'd be like, what key is it in? If I've heard it before and I know the key, then I can generally figure shit out. Or
you say push that to the second set and I'll go out in my car and listen to it on break and figure it out.
Yeah. But he would do this thing, and this is the first person and the last person that has ever done this, where we'd be playing a song, maybe we're in a solo section or instrumental part or whatever, and he would just stop, or not stop, but he would just turn like to me and be like, bass solo, it'd be 2, 3, bass solo, and I'd have to go like right there, like I got no warning at all.
Well, sure he did. He just told you bass solo 3, 4.
Gave me like 2 beats.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, bass solo, and I'd be like, huh, and I'd have to just come up with something right there on the spot. And I guess I did well enough that I kept.
Yeah, he did that on purpose, just to mess with you guys.
I don't know. It was just his thing.
Spontaneous, creative. He was sparking.
I don't think he was trying to.
In you.
I don't think he was trying to f with anybody. I think it was just his thing. He would just do it. And it was fun for him.
Bass solo now, Steve. Go.
So whatever.
Steve Witchell on the bass.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like, hey, it's Steve Witchell. It was just like pressure. Bass solo. Like now, okay. Yeah, that'll stretch you. Yeah, and that's what it did. That'll stretch it. That's what it did. It put me into that. It's very sort of boot camp type of thing. I think of New Orleans as kind of boot camp too, when playing these 5-hour gigs where you're playing with people you never play with, playing songs you never played in front of a huge crowd.
Yeah,
go. It's boot camp.
It's exciting, like you said.
It's exciting.
Stretch you.
It sounds like anxiety. It depends. I mean, you could take anxiety and you can channel that into creativity, and that's what I do. Because fear is a very good motivator. If you're scared of something, face it and do it, and then then your fear is gone from it. So that kind of diminishes that anxiety, if not dissipates it.
Life is a grand adventure, Steve.
It is.
Embrace it. Sink or swim. And if it fails miserably, then you move on and you try it again next time.
Right.
And there's nothing to be afraid of, because fear will always hold you back from performing at your best because you'll be conscious of it. You can also leverage it, like you said, to give you that nervous energy and get you through it. You know what I mean? But if you're not fearful and you're just winging it and prepared and hope for the best, then, you know what I mean? You'll always be in a more relaxed state, which I think is where you'll find yourself at your most creative genius, because it's hard to be real creative when you're stressed or anxious or feel like you're under the gun. You might pull off some great thing, but you won't do it confidently. You know what I mean? You maybe in the moment you'll watch back over, a video or hear an audio back and be like, oh, wow, that was actually a lot better than I thought. Or that was really cool on the, off the cuff, just coming up with something. That's sometimes when your most spontaneous, best performances are, right? But if you're nervous about it, you're not going to be in the zone,
Right. A lot of people worry about what other people think. That's never a good idea. It's never helpful. And if you're not worried about what anybody thinks, then you're going to do whatever you want, and it's going to come out.
It's going to be authentic, right?
Authentic. It's probably going to be better. I mean, there's so many gigs that I wish, and so much stuff I've done that I wish I had recorded, because I've played so many gigs here, and most of it is just gone. It's gone into the ether.
I got to see because I know there was dozens of people filming when we were playing on Sunday.
I was going to say, did you take pictures? You didn't take pictures or video, anything?
I didn't personally, but people were out and about, so I got to see if I can track down some footage from somewhere.
You need to be cognizant of that. Take pictures, like from your drum throne. Stand up, take a picture of the crowd. Take a picture of the venue at least.
I have. I've done. I didn't do it this time, but typically I would do a panoramic view from behind the kit, of the surrounding area. And I usually go out front, but we were under the gun to set up, and then by the time we were done sound checking, the place was already packed. So there wasn't a lot of time to be roaming around.
It takes 2 seconds.
I didn't have 2 seconds, Steve. Sorry. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Someone was yelling at me saying solo now. So I just turned solo. What are you going to do? When in doubt, solo.
Right. No time to be fuddling with your.
No, that's especially useful too when the power goes out or the breaker gets blown and the band's playing da-da-da, and there's nothing. Drum solo.
Perfect. That's a perfect time for a drum solo. Yes.
Right, and you're on the spot. Go.
Right.
And it might be dark. It might be emergency lights on, but you got to keep going.
Right. Well, I'm sure you could play in the dark.
Sure. I used to get very accustomed to playing in the dark because I used to be jamming, and Karen would come downstairs and flash the light to tell me to come upstairs for dinner or it's time to stop playing, and I wouldn't stop, and she would turn the light off and go back upstairs. And I was in my studio in Teaneck, so it was like 20 feet away to walk to where the light switch was, and I was in the middle of jamming, so I would just play in the dark until she came back down and turned the light on and was like, "What the F are you doing? Let's go."
That's great.
Yeah. It's good muscle memory training. You learn where everything is without having to look at it,
Right. Good for your chops.
Great.
All right. Another Wisdom Hour has been completed. Thank you guys for all watching and commenting and participating. We really appreciate you. This is all really for you. It's for us, but it's for you too. It's for this whole community. Make sure you go to coverbandcentral.com.
For the world, Steve.
Sign up for a profile for you, your band, or both. It is free. And any correspondence, Steve at coverbandcentral.com. Send away. I'll resume the daily video thing next week after I get all my themes together. But in the meantime,
after vacation week, after holiday,
vacation week where I'm working.
Yes.
Yeah. In the meantime, guys, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy this coming back to gigs. Really appreciate everyone.
Yes.
Make sure you put that gratitude into all of this, and thank people for coming and just
enjoy the opportunity and be thankful for it, right? Because now we're back, right?
We're back, baby, and we're better than ever. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys as always for watching. Make sure you share this too, and we'll see you next week. get